of a lover's kiss in the morning mist of May. He must ride, she must bide, and the wind
GMO crops, I think I first heard about them probably growing up, and it was something that was becoming more and more popular.
According to the World Health Organization, GMOs is a genetically modified organism.
There was a period of time in my life where I started to get interested in like my diet and what I was eating and how these foods were impacting me.
Do I feel that there are health risks and costs to GMOs? Yes. Yes.
I like playing both sides. And with GMOs, there's two different sides to it. There are a lot of benefits, I would say, to GMO, just as far as like, it being resistant to a certain type of disease.
With GMOs, the harmful effects that they have is we first have to understand how our body is connected to the earth.
I also got interested in how those foods were impacting the environment.
Everything that the earth produces is what our body needs to survive. So the air, the foods, the different nutrients that come from the different plants and vegetables, fruits, the water. So our body needs everything that the earth produces the way it is.
Some GMO seeds may be genetically modified that it doesn't even need that much water. So
So the advantages and disadvantages of GMOs. So I'll start with the advantages. So scientists believe that if they're able to create these edible food-like substances, they can feed more people.
If the goal is to have genetically modified food so that way you can have as much food as you can eat and it can last as long as you want it to last on the shelf and it can look as pretty.
We already do that as we speak. Strawberries, tomatoes, a lot of these things are already GMO'd to the point where it could, service the community, so we can have strawberries in the winter, or we can have tomatoes that last about 4 to 5 weeks in the store before we buy them.
And there are the other very money-hungry people of that this is a corporation, this is a business, how do we create more money?
We don't make any money on growing seeds whatsoever. Like, we buy our seeds and our budget for our seeding alone is about $1,000. We do have sales goals down here. Our sales goal for this year is about $9,000. So yeah, we do see profit. When you are buying seed out there, and then whatever we plant out there, if I'm spending $500 on seed, and we're able to make about $9,000 as far as selling all our produce, it's pretty profitable. It can be pretty profitable if you know what you're selling and who you're selling to.
It's all GMO corn and GMO soybeans because that allows them to make the most money.
The farmers, however, are suffering because now they can't produce how they've been producing for generations and generations and generations. They now have to go and buy these seeds every single time, and it's costly. It's costly. So that means that once that crop is gone, now I have to go buy more seeds from you. And so if you're on that end of the deal, it's a great deal because I have to sell these seeds and now everybody has to buy them from me. So that's the corporation side of it.
I spend half of our money on seeds alone, and that's just all the different stuff that we grow here, from collards, lettuces, peppers, tomatoes. These are all seeds that we're buying. Even the flowers that we plant out here, that's all from seed.
Because the genetically modified seed that farmers have to use only go through one crop.
The genetically modified seed, these are things that we are messing around with, I would want to say. And we really don't know what the whole research is and what it's really doing to our bodies.
So if you are going to take a tomato, for example, and that tomato has been genetically modified to have a specific appearance, maybe it's bigger, it's redder, or it's resistant to bruising, or it lasts longer, there might be a resulting effect on the nutrient level in that tomato. So even though it looks nicer on the outside and it can last longer, the components of the vitamins and minerals that are in that may be reduced.
Often genetically modified food becomes very aesthetically beautiful, but isn't always nutritionally, doesn't have nutritional value or has a high amount of chemicals inside of it because of the modifications.
The impact is not good. And that's what we have to look at. How are our intentions impacting others? And so if my intent is to feed you, but I'm giving you poison, which is better? That you don't feel hungry for a few minutes, or that I'm going to kill you in the long run?
It's going to have a consequence in our own bodies because we have not evolved to digest and process that type of food. You know, we're already seeing impacts on our health, whether it's diabetes or other underlying issues of circulation, because of all these changes that are unnatural to the way we're supposed to interact with our environment. If a group of people is exposed to more genetically modified food, we can make that same inference that they may have compounding negative effects based on the exposure to those high chemicals or other underlying issues of circulation because of all these changes that are unnatural to the way we're supposed to interact with our environment.
The scientists didn't alter the seed or these crops to benefit humans. They did it so that the crops aren't affected by mosquitoes and pests and all these other things that can damage the crops.
Pests is another thing. You know, there are a lot of vermin, rats, maybe bugs, beetles, and other things that tend to be a little bit more heavier in the city. Insects
That are pests to come in and take over plants once, if those insects were to mutate into a form that could overtake that plant.
So now you have a seed that releases its own internal insecticide. So it makes sense, we want to get rid of the bugs that kill the crop, so we're going to, figure something out there. But then what does that insecticide do to humans?
Is it going to hurt the people who are consuming it more than is it going to benefit them?
Would you swallow that bug spray? Would you drink it? And so those are the kinds of questions that we have to ask ourselves. Is the stuff that the scientists are doing to alter the foods, is it benefiting humans or is it benefiting the corporation?
What tale is this of a lover's kiss in the morning mist of May? He must ride, she must bide, and the wind blew the roses.
That's what I want people to look at. Why? What are the conditions that are making us poison ourselves? And why is that the norm and not eating a salad that's organic? Why is the word organic weird and bad?
That's where we actually have produce. We have garlic, we have mint, we have pumpkins, tomatoes, lettuce, kale, we even have collards, greens.
That's just a substance, that's a food in its natural state. That's what organic is. It's the food in its natural state that our body recognizes and can be strong from. That's organic.
And as they see these crops grow in an organic way, because we don't add any fertilizers, we don't add any chemicals.
All the other stuff is poison.
The awareness is there, but the education's not. I think not that many people know about GMOs, as also the effects of GMOs and what are GMOs.
I definitely think it's important for students to understand what those things are and why they're important.
I know a lot of my youth that I teach here don't know about that, and don't even know that a lot of the food that are eating are, are genetically modified organisms or crops.
I think most students probably don't read food labels when they buy foods. I do think it's important, yeah.
So I think we do have to do a lot more education on letting people know what the effects of GMO and essentially what are they, and what are they and what are the benefits and what are the side effects of using them.
And that's the question we have to ask. Why don't we care? Why don't we know? Why don't we ask questions?
What tale is this of a lover's kiss in the morning?